Okay, alrighty. Welcome everybody to episode 3 of Mom Bunz. Before we begin, I just want to say thank you to the team for being here on a Friday. I know we have other things to do, and if you hear kiddos in the background, those are our kids, and they're just playing. But you know that we're moms. That's what happens, right? That's what we do. So thank you, you guys, Louis, Miriam, Glori. Eddie, thank you for being here. And with that being said, I want to welcome back Glori.
Thank you.
You remember her from the first couple episodes. And we have, you know what? It doesn't matter. I'm just kidding. We have Eddie here, Eryana, the other sister.
The other sister.
La otra. I'm just kidding. The middle child. I'm the baby and Glori's the oldest. Obviously, we grew up together. And today we want to talk about just the way that like we grew up, right? And how that has affected our parenting style, how that has affected us as moms and how we view our children. So I just wanted to talk a little bit about that today and like, you know, probably cry a little bit.
I'm sure. I was crying,
okay.
like seeing this, I cried. So yeah.
Yeah, it's probably you'll probably shed a tear.
I'm too nervous to cry right now, but thank you.
We grew up in. Okay, so I just want to say that I'm like the only real Colombian out of the three of us.
You were just born
I
there.
literally was born there.
That's it.
That
I was
mean
literally
anything.
born
No,
there.
we are more Colombian than you are.
I'm wearing my arepas
Okay.
shirt. It says arepas,
Poser.
arepas.
Yes.
I'm trying so hard. We grew up together and we came here, or at least I came here when I was 4, right? So you were 8.
I was about to be 9.
You were about to be 9. Yeah.
Okay, so you were turning 5.
Like I remember,
I was turning 7.
Yeah,
okay.
I remember being on a plane at 4 years old and like looking out the window. That's the only memory I have of like coming here. I know, it's so crazy. And then I remember like getting in and out of, you know, like public transportation, like the buses.
the buses
The year
in Chelsea.
1999.
Yes, it was the year 99. Oh
That's
my
crazy.
gosh.
That's so long ago.
So we moved to Boston, Massachusetts. Those streets. No, I'm kidding.
Broadway.
Broadway, right?
Yeah.
Chelsea, Massachusetts. That's where we grew up. And my mom, it was my mom.
I
right?
feel like our childhood, though, we grew up part in Colombia, part of our childhood Colombia,
yeah,
and part of our childhood
Most of it,
Boston. So I have like 2 different.
Memories of childhood?
Yes.
I don't feel that way. Yeah.
I know you were the youngest, so you are more Boston, right?
Yeah.
But I know we have a lot of memories in Colombia.
So much
that
more
we
freedom
treasure,
than
yeah.
when we came.
Yeah. The only thing is I remember is going back when I was like 7 or something like that.
Yeah, we went back like 2 years later.
2 years after.
Yeah.
Or something.
To visit.
So I was, okay,
Yeah,
yeah,
it was
6.
Oh my
For
God,
sure.
2001.
It was 2001.
Oh my gosh, that's right.
We were supposed to come back by
because
And
you
then
guys
September.
were supposed to come
the
back
Twin Towers
September.
fell, yes.
So we had to stay in
Yes.
Colombia a little longer.
Okay.
And we started I started 6th grade late because of that. Anyways.
Oh,
Yeah.
I remember that. I remember sitting, in my mom's like chair at the salon, and like looking at it from the mirror, like the news of the Twin Towers.
That were still going on.
It was still
They were still
happening.
when we
going
came. That was like the biggest news for sure.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. But yeah. Anyway, speaking of like being at my mom's salon, my mom, I just remember her working and working and working. You know, like there was always food at the table for us.
And
It was for us.
Yeah.
You know, like she just, God, I love that woman.
She's
I love her
great.
so much.
We're really blessed. with
Yeah,
her.
we really are. But anyways, Eddie, do you want to go ahead and introduce yourself? Like, what do you do? How many kids do you have?
My name is. Just kidding. I'm Eryana. I'm the middle sister. And Glori's reading this book, Why You Are the Way That You Are. And every time I do something, she's like, it's because you're the middle child. I have, wow, that's crazy to say. I have 3 kids.
Yes.
They're the best.
I have an older girl. She's 6. She just started first grade. I remember being in first grade. That's all
Isn't
I
that
think about.
crazy?
Like, I remember coming to the United States and I started first grade. And now I have a 6-year-old that's in first grade. I have my middle child, Elena. She is 5. She started kinder. And my little baby, Jaciel. He
Oh
is
my gosh, he's so
gonna
cute.
be 9 months.
Yeah.
Wow.
On Wednesday, next Wednesday.
Oh,
I know,
yeah.
that's crazy. I'm a stay-at-home mom. I just left work around March.
Mm-hmm.
And I
And
work for...
and you're going back to school.
And I'm going back to school.
Yeah.
Woo! Yeah, that's nerve-wracking. but
Yeah.
Yes. I've been out of school for a year, so it's time to get back in there to get that nursing degree that's been
That's
in the
right.
works for
Boom, boom, boom.
how
No,
long? It's been
no,
too
it's
long.
gonna happen.
Yeah,
It's gonna
thank you.
happen.
Amen. But yeah, okay, that's it.
Yes. And she also works for Hernandez Multi-Contracting Services,
LLC.
LLC. HMCS for life. For life. I think we did this like the first episode.
You know what? Yes, I guess, and you could say
Promotion
we
for
all
Nelson.
work together.
Yes, we do. We all work
for our
together.
wonderful.
Time.
Yeah, we all
Yeah.
work
Yeah.
together for our wonderful stepdad, Nelson. He's the best dad for us. So
Yeah.
it's really exciting.
Yeah.
So
It's awesome.
we talk all day. we have
We
to
literally talk all
I need
day.
some space from you guys. I know this.
give
No,
me
I'm just
give me
kidding.
some room, yeah. No, but so okay, now that we've mentioned Nelson, right? My mom married Nelson when I was
2004.
2004. 2004?
Yes.
I always go between 2003
I was
and 2004.
I remember being
It's
8. I just
2004.
remember being 8 years
I saw
old.
the tape, the VCR,
And it said
VHS
2004.
tape. It says 2004. It's 2004.
414
I was 14.
2004.
Yes.
No, 214 2004.
2/14.
February
It was
14th.
February 14th,
Yes. Yeah.
That's your birthday, girl.
Yeah.
I'm
obsessed
not all
with
about
myself.
you.
The world, it revolves around me. So she was a single mom up until I was 8 years old, until I guess.
Yeah, we
4
come.
years.
You know, we come back from Colombia in 1999, and I remember us being together with my dad for a while. But then he's gone. He's not longer living with us. So she was a single mom most of the time. For a long time.
From what I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even in
Like
Colombia,
Yeah.
my dad was not there physically with us.
Oh.
You know?
Okay.
I don't even. I know he would come and he came and visit, but then he left. He came to the U.S. and we were in Colombia, just
Yeah.
us with family, right? But
Yeah.
so she was a single mom for a few years.
Yeah. I just remember, seeing my dad, like, I don't even know if it was like every 2 weeks on the weekends or like every weekend.
I want to say like every Thursday and the weekends, but
So,
Oh,
Some
okay.
weekends, some weekends we
weekends.
did not see him.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I remember. I just remember her working so much and spending so much time like at her job. And we
in
would
the back.
either in the back, or we would
In the
when
front.
she worked in Chelsea,
Yeah,
like
we
we
would
would
go
go
to
and
the
play
parking
to
lot
the
next
parking lot.
door. Yeah,
Yeah,
that was
To play.
to play.
Yeah, and everyone knew
even though she was working all the time, like I have good memories.
Yeah, we
Good
still had
memories.
fun.
Yeah. And all her clients knew her 3 daughters because
Her
we
3
were
kids,
always
yeah.
together, always there
Busy,
doing our
yes.
homework. Yeah.
We were such
Yeah.
good kids. What happened to us?
Do you know they would call us Gloria's 3 little soldiers? That's what they would call us because
Yeah.
we were always so obedient
yeah,
to her.
we were always
So,
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's on my notes.
Yeah.
Yes, it was a thing. Las tres
Yeah.
soldaditas, like
Yeah,
3
because
little
we were
soldiers.
always like on
Very-
point.
Yeah,
you
she was very strict
Yeah.
with us. Very loving though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like as a single mom, she had to be strict with us.
Yeah.
because
And this is even before knowing Jesus.
before, yeah.
Yeah.
Before, because she came to know the Lord like, I was like what 10?
I know.
No, it was when they got before they got married, before my mom and
Yeah.
Elsa got married.
So it must have been like 2002. I remember being like 12, around 12.
Okay, all right. So
That's the year that I was gonna say too.
Yeah.
But I think she had to be strict with us because we were 3 girls in
Yes.
Chelsea, which wasn't the best
Not-
neighborhood.
Yeah, not
We
great.
would walk home from school by ourselves all the time,
And
or
to
and
school. I remember
to
walking to
school,
school
right?
together,
So
yeah.
she had to be strict.
And we would stay home alone.
You know what? Yes, we were home
We
alone
would.
a lot.
Yes. Okay. So with that being said, Eddie,
I know what you're
we
gonna
were
say.
home alone a lot. Oh, are you gonna bring up the
No,
911 call?
No, that could be another episode.
Okay,
I'm gonna
that-
say it. Okay, it has to
That'll
do
be
with
the
what I'm
case.
gonna
It
say.
has
Okay.
to do with her experience. Okay.
Oh gosh.
Thank you.
Eddie, how do you think that being raised by a single mom, at least for like those few years,
First few years before Nelson.
before Nelson, how do you think it affects you now as a mom? But honestly though, like I feel like my mom's parenting didn't really change even after they got married because it was ingrained in her. It was who my mom was, right? that's what she had done all her life. And honestly, I think it was like a kind of like a survival mechanism, you know, like being strict with us, loving us, and not that like she was unbearable, you know, because like we love her so much. But looking back at it now, I'm like, man, like she was strict, you know. But I don't know. So how do you
when you're a
feel?
mom and you look back on those days, like I
understand.
I don't know how she did it.
I don't know how she did it.
I remember she would come home from work and she would get so mad because she had told us to like take the chicken out or whatever.
Yes.
And we didn't, and she would get so mad and we'd be like, she's crazy, y'all. Like, it's just chicken.
Yeah.
And now I think about it, like she's a hairstylist. I imagine like being on my feet all day long.
I know.
You know, no breaks. And all you want is to just come home and cook that chicken, because we weren't cooking at that time. And it hasn't
You
been...
weren't cooking. I was cooking.
I'm sorry. What did you make?
I only would make the you know,
like
eggs. Yes.
Eggs, yeah.
Eggs.
Sorry.
But,
But chicken, would you cook chicken?
No,
Probably
I
not.
no.
And
Yeah,
so
you're
she's
right.
Like, me sacaron el pollo. And I'm like, it's just chicken. But looking back now, I'd be so mad if all I asked my children to do, take the chicken out to defrost, so when I get home, it's ready to go.
Yeah.
So when you look back at it now that you're a mom, I'm like, oh my gosh, we were the worst kids. Like, all she wanted was for us to take the chicken out.
Yeah.
So it's little
That's
things
so
like that.
sad. That's so true.
I know. She was
I
so
want to give her a
strong,
hug.
you know what?
Let me call her right
even
now.
looking back, when she would come home like on a Saturday, 'cause she always worked Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah.
She would come in. I'm sure she would probably was exhausted, but she would
just
come
wanted to lay down,
and
but-
say, "You guys want to go outside and hang out?"
No,
and I'm
do you
like,
remember she would come and pick us up in a taxi, and then she would take us to a restaurant or to the mall,
Or to the
and
mall,
stuff, and
yeah.
so- or Park Street, and
Yeah.
we'd go and do fun stuff. Yeah, but I don't know how she did it.
I love her
Hats
so
off
much.
to
Yeah,
all single
hats off.
moms. I have a
Literally.
couple single mom friends, and I don't think that I wouldn't be able to do it, especially with 3 kids, and she had 3 girls. And
Yeah. Like it's literally like
in
I
a new
have
country.
in
You don't have any family.
you don't
like,
speak the language.
I know,
Right?
you guys. Yeah, she's really
No family
she's
to
the
depend
best.
on.
She's the strongest
Yeah.
woman ever. But how do you feel like how do you think that it affects you now as like a mom, like your parenting style? It's okay. You can be honest.
Yeah.
Well, I just remember, like, it's crazy that you said that people used to know us as like las tres soldaditas, like the 3 little soldiers.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just like, because I know that I'm really strict. Like, I have no tolerance for like disrespect for adults. I don't have any tolerance
Yeah.
when they disrespect me, and like I know they're learning, and I've had to like kind of like take a step back and be like, you need to chill. Like, they're little humans.
Yeah.
They're learning. They're impulsive, you know, and I can give them a second chance. Like, I'm not just gonna be like, you know, like I really had to be really intentional and like taking a minute before I respond, because I'm very like, it's like reactive. Is that the word? Like, you do something and I'm gonna respond to it right away, and I've had to take a step back and like
Like you react emotionally.
take a minute. Yes, definitely. Like, take a minute, and I really try my hardest not to yell, because I hated being yelled at. And I don't know if you guys remember.
You got the most yelled at.
You got the middle child.
Yeah, because I'm the middle child, guys. I just remember this saying. I'm sure you guys are gonna remember it too. Yo no estoy gritando, yo hablo así.
Yes.
I'm not
I'm
screaming.
mom,
This is
let
how
me
I
play
talk.
this
Yeah.
back. This is how you talk. This is a voice note, and this is you screaming. Like, so you can see the difference. Like, Mom, I promise that's not how you talk. But like, now that I'm a mom, like, I understand these little things that I'm like, if my mom had asked me to do something and then I didn't do it and she would go off,
Yeah.
I do the same thing now, and I'm like, I understand my mom now, but like, I also remember being a little kid.
Yeah.
So,
You
and
know
I'm
how-
playing
how
with my
that
sisters.
feels.
You know, we would play for hours doing stupid stuff.
Yeah.
And so I just remember that, and so I really try to like put myself, because I remember so clearly. Again, I remember being in first grade, so I remember what it's like to be having fun with my sister. And so I'm like, you know what, the mess can get cleaned up later. Like, especially now, like, I'm having a hard time with like messes, because they've been home all summer. This is my first time. Like, I worked for 2 years, and now I'm home with them, and I've been inside with them all day because Texas heat, right?
Yes.
And I'm like, you know what? This is their house. Like, let them enjoy their space.
Yeah.
We can always clean up the mess later. So
Yeah.
that's definitely like kind of a comparison to how we grew up, where we always had to make sure that it was like tidy and spotless.
Yes,
And I know that's
man.
one of the things that Glory was like,
Yeah.
you like had to be the what do you call it? Like the person that made sure that it got done before
Yeah.
mom got home.
Yes,
Yeah.
I know.
I feel for you,
That's
girl.
no.
Now I
that's
do.
that's a good segue
Sorry.
because you are the oldest,
Yeah.
right? And I mean, you've always been just super responsible, right? But I don't think you really had a choice.
You know what?
You had
I
to mature so
know.
fast.
I was thinking that.
really
I'm
hard.
like, okay, so we had to, I think of our lives, like we had a childhood in Colombia, which it was the best. Cousins
best.
surrounded by so, grandma, grandpa, family, uncles.
and
Yeah.
And then we come here and everything.
and being outside
And being
all
outside,
day,
we could play.
freedom.
And then we come here to the U.S. and it's the three of us, my mom and my dad. And then my dad is
no longer there.
there, a constant person in our lives. And I'm like looking back at our childhood here. I'm like, I wanted to make sure my mom had that help of, okay, the girls are playing, but I need to cook. The
But
girls
like,
are
can you
playing.
imagine
Like, was that in your mind?
It
you
was.
being that
I-
old and already having
And
like
you
that
were what,
mindset?
like
Like I need to
9?
make sure I'm my mom's help.
I
That's
was
crazy.
9, 10, you guys would go to school and I would go pick you guys up and we would walk.
Oh, because your school was here, right?
And so
Like
I
it was
would-
the four schools
Yeah.
together. Okay.
Yeah, so it was
Brooklyn,
like I was my
Wisconsin,
mom's help, only help I believed, right?
Yeah.
And so then I remember that instant of you guys are playing, but I need to clean. You guys need to clean. So I loved my childhood, but I wish that now that I'm an adult, obviously I look back and I'm like, I
Yeah.
wish I would have relaxed a little more and
Yeah.
remember that I was a kid.
Yeah.
And I didn't have to act like an adult.
I don't remember
Yeah.
playing with you much.
No.
So sad.
But yeah, I think it was just like
I don't want to cry.
that's
I remember
that's
playing
how,
with her for hours and hours, just doing stupid stuff, and you're just so responsible.
You know, when you ask me, like, how would you change, what would you change about growing up the way we did?
Yeah.
Literally, I'm thinking about it, and I'm like, oh my God, I never thought of this. But the first thing that came to my mind is, I wish I would have played more. Don't cry, you're going to make me cry. I already cried.
Don't cry. I'm gonna cry.
I wish I would have played more. I wish, like, I remember you guys playing, and that instinct that I know you were going to say of,
you knew the exact moment.
you guys
that I
were
was thinking
playing,
of.
and I
Yeah.
said, okay, girls, we need to clean. And you said, no, we're not going to clean, we're playing. And I said, we need to clean, or I'm going to call the police because my mom needs the house to be clean.
Yeah.
And you guys kept playing, and so I dialed 911, right? And I hang up, and then I pressed the area code, which was 617 Boston.
617-911.
And someone answers, and I hang up because I'm pretending to call.
Jesus, take
And
me
they
out.
called back,
called
and
back.
I
Hung up.
hung up.
Yeah.
And again, I'm like, you guys, we need to clean. The police come, they're pounding on our door, but we're by
We're by
ourselves.
ourselves.
Yeah.
How old
Eddie
were
and
you?
I are like
I
literally
was-
like in our underwear
I
because
was,
we
like,
were like playing.
8,
I think
9?
I was like 10, about to be 11 probably.
So
And-
we were not allowed to be home by ourselves.
No,
No,
we were not.
we weren't.
Not in Boston. I don't know. I'm sure. I mean, the U.S. is pretty strict about that,
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
So,
That was
the
the
police
scariest moment
come.
of my
We
life.
call my mom right
Second-
away. The
second
police are on their way. You need to get here. She gets there. The police are already there questioning me.
I remember calling my mom at
Yeah.
work. That was
questioning me, like, why did you die? Oh, are you in danger? Blah, blah, blah. And we were not in danger. I was just wanting my sisters to clean.
Did you tell them that?
But you don't
No.
remember the best part is us hiding behind the couch.
The couch with like the toys all on top
like
of us.
Kobe,
and,
like
and
Kobe
las
has the
cobijas,
blankets,
like the
and then
blankets,
I just remember
the
so
flashlight.
vividly.
We found them.
Because I'm sniffling. I'm so scared. I'm sure
You
that's
all
what
got
the
us
cops
caught.
heard.
Yeah.
Like,
and they're with the flashlight.
and then I look up and it's
Cute.
the big flashlight.
Oh,
and it's
man.
And they're like,
Can
we
you imagine
found
what they're
them.
thinking?
And I'm like, oh, I did that. It's funny now, right? But
It's funny now, but
as an
It was
adult and
terrifying.
as a mom, I'm like, I wish I would have played more.
how would you feel as a mom if that was your kid that did that?
Oh my God. I
But
don't
like
know,
her kids are in completely different circumstances.
And so now as a mom.
But I'm saying, like, if it was your kid that, like, I guess that, like, was so, because I feel like I make my kids be like that sometimes, like, so uptight about, like, a
like doing
tiny
everything
place.
like
Yes.
boom, boom, boom.
Okay.
And so if it was, like, Bendy, that's like, no, then I was going to
I used to be like that with my firstborn.
Benji?
Yeah, and for a while, but I don't know. I know it was like a revelation from the Holy Spirit that I needed to like chill. I needed to step back, and it goes back to my childhood. Like, you know what? I can play with him. I am intentional about playing with my kids, and cleaning can wait.
Yeah.
The cooking can wait for a few minutes. I can play a little longer. And I enjoy it so much playing with them. Oh, we play soccer, right?
good,
But
yeah.
I enjoy it. But looking
When
back,
you said playing with him, that's all I pictured is
soccer.
you playing soccer
But looking
outside.
back, Carol and Eddie, yeah, I'm like, I wish I would have played more with my sisters, because I was so worried about making my mom's life easier, helping her, because I know she didn't have that spouse, that partner to help her. It
Just
was
the fact that like your brain
me.
worked that way. I could care less. That was not at all what I was thinking, and it's
Yeah.
crazy to think
Yeah.
we're only like 2 years apart, and you were thinking I need to help my mom because she doesn't have a spouse, and I'm like, woo, party, let's
yeah,
go
literally,
play.
it wasn't
Yeah.
on my mind.
Jump on the bed, me and her. Forget homework,
Yes.
and your brain is on a completely different level. That's
Yes.
Like you just
crazy
thought
to
that
think
up.
now.
Like nobody told you, like in Colombia, like, tu mamá va a estar solita.
No,
you know,
no
like your
one.
mom's gonna be alone.
That's crazy.
It just you could see it, and I'm pretty sure. Like I remember just seeing sometimes my mom exhausted and like sad.
do?
Yes, I have memories of that, and
I remember her calling my grandma when that whole thing with the police happened. I remember her crying.
even. I
But like
know.
de rabia, like in like dolor, like how can my kids do this? They call the police, like me las van a quitar, like
I
they're
can't
gonna
believe I
take my
did
kid.
that, you guys. I know.
But it was like an honest, like
I had a
you know what I
reason,
mean?
okay?
Yeah.
I
You
had a
did
reason.
Course,
have a
nobody
reason.
blames you. Nobody blames you.
You were literally a child. Like you
I
were
just
a
remember
child.
my mom having like calling my grandma in Colombia. I remember her in the kitchen talking after that whole ordeal, and it was so scary.
Oh my gosh.
So I just, I wish I would have, just enjoy. If you're a mom, enjoy your kids. Let them play.
That's the mom
And,
tip.
Yeah, that's the mom tip.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
And I know it.
That's
I can't
good,
imagine
that's a
being.
good
I'm
tip.
not a single mom.
yeah.
And there's been seasons where my husband would work a lot, and it was just me all day for weeks, for months, and we would have him maybe for a little bit on Sunday, and he would go back to work, and I can't imagine, but I have to remember my kid is a kid. He's not responsible for being an adult. He's not responsible to help me. I'm the adult here.
yeah.
And I know my mom never said, you got to help me. She never did, but
That was you out of the goodness
it
of
was,
your heart.
yeah, it was
Because
us
you were
three.
already so mature, like beyond your years.
I've always, I think that happened. I don't, literally in Colombia, I just remember playing. That's all we
and then
did.
we came here and just like,
A different atmosphere, seeing our parents fight, like physically fight
Yeah.
at home. I have memories of that.
Yeah.
And I remember I have memories of my mom just staying up with me because I would be sick with asthma for nights, for days, and missing work, and missing. I
imagine
would
like
miss
all those
school.
sleepless nights and then to go stand at work on your feet
Yeah.
for 10 hours.
So I feel like that was the least I could do, is help her. Yeah, and even though I didn't know how to cook, I would make the same thing, arroz con frijoles, y huevo revuelto.
Sanduchito de mortadela.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I'm very thankful for her, because I feel because of her, I'm able to make sure that my kids know how blessed they are. They're in a healthy home. They have
Yeah.
mom and dad. They have everything. I know there was times where we didn't,
Yeah.
we didn't have light. We would wake up and there was no hot water.
hot water,
So my
yeah.
mom would be like, okay, let's warm it up,
Yeah.
because we didn't have,
Definitely
warm
struggles.
water to go, to shower and go to school, especially in Boston. It was so cold.
Mm-hmm.
My kids wake up every day and they don't have to worry about whether we're going to have water or not.
Yeah, thank God. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm always making sure that they know how thankful, to make sure that they have so much to be grateful for what they have.
Mm-hmm.
Because I grew up with lacking some of those things.
Yeah. Man, that was good. My heart is
So
like.
many memories. I
It's
know.
okay. I'm okay, you guys.
No, like
It's just, it made me sad. I'm like, oh man.
But guess
I
what?
wish
You're
I
not
would've-
like an uptight person. Like
I'm not. I hope
like
people don't
bitter.
see that. I'm
You're
not.
so
I'm
fun
not
to be
bitter.
around.
Thank
You're
you,
so
Wade.
funny. You're funnier than Caroline.
Oh
That's
my God.
saying so much.
Okay,
Every time we're at
okay.
your house, like,
But
she
you know
cracks
what?
jokes and
I
we're
am
like,
not
I know.
like that with everybody.
since when are you
So that's
funny? I know,
I'm not.
I know, but
yeah.
she's funny, guys.
She's
Miriam
really
will
funny.
agree. She's like,
She's so
She says
funny.
yes. She says
And
yes.
fun. Funny and fun.
Yeah.
That's a good mom.
But-
it's Jesus. It's
Yeah.
really Jesus.
Yeah.
He's done it all.
For sure.
Amen. But yeah, that is a good mom tip. Like, remember to enjoy like your kids,
enjoy
right? And actually, Eddie sent me this video on TikTok about this like dad who was talking about how he had a moment with his like daughter, and he actually was like, when I guess you feel like you're overwhelmed and like you just want to explode at your kid, like look at their little hands. And that'll remind you like that they're little,
so
you know,
tiny.
like they're tiny. They have all these like emotions going on. And like he said that and I was like, oh,
Yeah.
And then,
gosh,
but he
yeah.
also said, and the rest of the video was like, he wishes so much that he could go back and like have a sandwich with his dad, because he remembers having sandwiches with his dad, and so he wants to create those memories that like his kids will have growing up. And I'm always like, gosh, like I don't have to wash these dishes right now.
Yeah.
Like my kids are awake. It's gonna be bedtime soon. Like let me go play with them for 15, 20 minutes. Let's go have some fun, tickle fight, whatever it is.
know.
So like that's such a good mom tip. Like
Yeah.
the
Like,
dishes can
enjoy
wait.
it.
I
Yeah.
have to
The
remind
dishes can
myself that
wait.
I can sit down and have dinner,
Oh
not
my God,
eat
Glory,
dinner
I'm
standing up.
I have to remind
Like I
myself
can
that.
sit down and we can talk about.
Yeah,
our
but then when I
day.
sit down, my back is like, and I'm like, oh my gosh, how many?
Like, you
I've
haven't-
just been
you haven't
standing
sat-
doing
yeah,
it all.
yeah.
No.
Laundry, wiping this, wiping
Yeah.
that.
But it's a daily reminder. I have to remind myself
You're so
that they're not
intentional
going to
about
be
it.
little and they're not going to want to hang out with me. Maybe I have no idea how teenagers are, but I.
I mean, did you want to hang out with your mom when you were 17?
Yes, I did.
I don't think so.
You guys didn't. Eryana didn't for sure.
I for sure did it. But now I love they're like my besties. Mom?
I know, I'm like, Mom,
I know
why
I
are you
just called you 20
answering?
minutes ago, but I'm having toast. I'm having toast now, and I wanted you to know.
Yeah,
I know.
it's like
the dumbest
just the
things
dumbest
that I
stuff,
just
yeah.
have to tell her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully my kids will be like that.
They will.
Hopefully they'll want to come around when they're older.
Yeah, but just remember to enjoy them, you know. And like it's gonna get hard, you know. It'll get hard. Some days it'll be tough, but look at their little hands. Like that'll help. It'll
that
would
bring
be a
back that
nice
like
reminder.
their
Such a good
kids and like
reminder.
enjoy them. They're not gonna think that you're their whole world forever. You
No,
know, they grow up.
Yeah.
That's like heartbreaking thinking of like Ezra like not thinking of me as like his whole world.
Literally, they're like, I know sometimes I'm like, if I hear mommy one more time, like, mommy, look at my cartwheel.
I'm gonna
I
lose
don't
it.
know what I'm going to do. But then I remember, I'm like, oh my gosh, like, I'm their everything. They want to show me everything.
Yeah.
They want to tell me everything. And
Yeah.
that's so special.
Yeah.
As much as it drives me crazy, most of the time that I'm just like, I saw your cartwheel 20,000 times already. I already saw it. It's the same thing.
that's
You're
so
not getting
good.
any better. Actually, that was pretty good. But I'm like, I'm not going to be their whole world forever. So that's a good reminder too.
Yeah. But yeah, remember that. And also just remember that you can't do it on your own and that it takes a village.
That's my village right here.